these times. We're in a Kali Yuga. We're in the end of a 2,000-year cycle. You know, some say, and I'm not quoting, but some say that if Jesus was the savior of this Piscean age, these past 2,000 years, then Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the savior of these coming years. And I believe it to be true. How that interprets and how that's going to play itself out in time and space, I don't know. I may not be alive long enough to see that. But I know that as long as I'm alive, I'm going to do what I can do to help that process and educate people to who we are. You know, we have the TV show Insight into Sikhism. Some of you have seen my show, the TV show we produce. So we've been on air 12 years now in Canada. And we have so many people that watch us, not from our summits, but Canadian people. Every place we go, Canadian people come up I was in a mall the other day, I was just by myself, I got nobody's, you know, just shopping, and this Pearl-later driver, I just want to tell you I'm your biggest fan. I mean, all over, people are watching the show. And what do they say? They say, we never knew that Sikh Dharma was such a beautiful faith, that it had so much richness and wealth to it, and history, and meditation, and stories. Because all they saw from the public image was that we got into fights, we blew up planes, that's the image that we have, right? Look at what they do here in BC. Was that one newspaper, that lady, I think she can only say is negative about us, right? Yeah. But we're reaching out to all kinds of people, each of us, to show that that's not who we are. And we have to, your generation has to show that. One lady called us one day, she said, my backyard is on the back of the Gurdwara, your Sikh temple. She said, am I allowed to go in? I said, what do you mean, am I allowed to go in? I said, everybody can go in, doesn't matter who you are. Go in, introduce yourself, you'll be welcome. She said, I didn't know. Because they think like a Muslim mosque, you're not allowed in, you can't go inside, right? And I said, no, everybody is allowed. She said, oh, I didn't know that, I'll go and visit that. People don't know, we have to educate this community as to who we are and what we represent by doing those programs, free kitchens. I know you have a very good program in Vancouver, feeding and the free kitchen, Nani's free kitchen, I think. Those kinds of things. Show the public who we are. Let them see that we're inclusive and that we're disciplined people, but that we come from our heart and our soul. And we want to help serve and fight against any injustice anywhere. That's why when we do that, when we do the Amrit, to me, Amrit is nothing more than saying, I'm willing to give my life and my head for another person. I'm not 100% perfect here, Sikh. I have my flaws. But I know some things that I keep. And I know that I have no fear to sacrifice myself that somebody else should live. That I don't fear. You have to live in that consciousness. Be open. You're a leader in this community. Your leadership has to be from compassion, kindness, and acceptance, not from just barking orders. And you know how we learn? Do we become generals when we enlist in the army? No, we're foot soldiers. So we have to learn how to take commands before we give commands. And that's the process you're going through. Be a good foot soldier. Learn how to take commands. Command yourself, and you'll be in command with others. Cool? You have a great future. Don't sacrifice it because of your insecurity, your doubt, and your fear. Don't. Don't let it go because you're afraid. Live to it and conquer your fear, and you'll be successful in this life. And anything you want to do, anything you want to become, any way do stand out. Why couldn't we just bother? We do stand out. Yeah. Why do I wear white? People ask why. I said, because everything shows up. I can't catch it. I can't. Everything shows up. Every stain is going to show up on white. I can't hide it. But don't be afraid. And be accepting to everyone. And be kind and gentle. So that people see there's an open door. Just as Golden Temple, our Mandir side, the Bar side has 4 doors. Is that not correct? That it was built specifically with 4 doors, north, south, east, and west, to signify that anybody could come. Be humble, be graceful, but that anybody is welcome to come from any side, from any belief, from any faith, from any corner of the world is welcome to the home party. You are the ambassadors of welcoming anybody into the house of art. Anybody. Because my prediction is, and I may be wrong, is that one day so many Canadian people are going to come into our devoirs and they're going to say, you know what, this is the only place in this whole society that I can come and find peace. And we have to be ready to receive them. They're going to come. I'm not saying they're going to come to want to be Sikh or anything. They just want to come because when this earth gets hot, and we haven't seen the heat of it yet, but it's coming. People will flock into a boudoir because that will be the only place of refuge. And you have to understand that you're ambassadors of that refuge. Don't be afraid of it. See? So maybe that's my limited belief structure, I don't know. But I figure, you know, it sounds pretty good, and it's a way to live. And isn't it true, one thing I always say to all of you, if I can live it the best that I can you not live it 10 times better than me? Those of you who are born to it know it. Isn't that true? That's my challenge to all of you. You should be better than me. I had to learn it from you and your grandparents and parents. Cool? What else? Sikh talks about it, and Khalsa lives it. That's the difference to me. Khalsa makes the conscious decision to live and walk this path in their whole being, body, mind, spirit, and essence. So one makes the decision to become Khalsa, not just talking, to want to talk, to walk the walk, not talk the talk. And when one in their own self feels that dedication to this way of living, they become Khalsa. Khalsa is a consciousness. Where Govind Singh Ji rose, took the seat, and made that seat. What is a Sikh? Seeks truth. Seeker of knowledge. Seeker of being. So Guru Govind Singh Ji took that simple seeker of truth, that seeker of knowledge and being, and turned that simple seeker through commitment to become a powerful ambassador for the human race. People watch us all the time. I'm always watched. Not only by our Sangha, by all of you, but I'm watched by everybody that I come in contact with. Everybody. Who am I? Am I real? Do I believe what I talk? Do I live what I talk? Do I live this belief? examples of your commitment within your own self to live to a principle that's supported by each of the bunch of cards that are living principles that live inside of you and that are conducted inside of you. It's not as something that's exterior, as an article of faith. See how we've turned things around and we've made it outside of us rather than inside? And if you read the Gurbani always not saying it's what's inside of you, what's inside of you. And we don't want to look inside of ourselves. We want it to just be outside. That's the problem. We're unwilling to face ourselves and process it, which Guru tells us to do. Instead, everything becomes external. And then as soon as that becomes external, we separate from each other. And it's the separation from each other that has created the divisions within our summits. I mean, isn't it funny we laugh? Oh, wherever there's 4 Sikh families in a community, there's going to be 3 Gurdwaras. And we laugh about it. I would cry about it. But haven't I heard that? I saw this one man came back, he said he was in Europe. I'm telling you, this is 100% honest truth. And he says, you know, I was in UK and I was in France. And so I went to all these Gurdwaras. It was so beautiful. I said, well, what was the thing that was really beautiful about the different Gurdwaras? And I'm telling this on to, he said, well, let's say in Birmingham, the 2 Gurdwaras had the best doll. In France, it was the best gear. And this is what he started to tell me, what kind of lumber that was served in each of these. And he was rating the Gurdwaras by what kind of lumber was the best. I said, I couldn't believe my mind. And it's funny, but it's not funny. It's, because again, the consciousness wasn't there. And the problem with that is that in some of the Gurdwaras, we can't find the Guru. What is the Gurdwara? Why do we come to the Gurdwara? That's the home of our Guru. It's a place of our refuge. So when I walk in the front door of the Gurdwara, I don't just put my shoes on that rack, I put my ego on that rack too. Here's my shoes and here's my ego. I'm going in as you see. When I bow my head, I say, Guruji, I'm here. Now you take my destiny. You guide me what's next. And that's not the day. And I make sure that I dress well. Not wear torn jeans and ripped hats and, this and that. I dress when I go to the door because I'm going into the presence of my Guru. Why would I wear half-cut jeans and torn pants and ripped t-shirts? Why would I be that disrespectful? I wouldn't. I won't. So I make sure that I dress well going into the door because I'm coming into the presence of my Guru. Why would I not be in that consciousness? That consciousness affects how you think. If you think in terms of, I'm going to the Dwar, I want to dress in perfect bonnet because I'm going into the presence of my Guru, then how will you shift in your thinking and your respect for yourself? No, I'm just going to the Dwar. It doesn't matter what I wear. I'll just put on a t-shirt or a pair. It doesn't matter. I'm just my buddies are going to be there. We'll talk around a little bit. And then the essence of the experience is not there. And I'm not saying we should be fanatics, right? But everything is how you set and frame it in your mind. And that will determine what comes close to you and what is far from you. That's what Guru says. And you have to become those living examples of what tomorrow is. Your friends, those others. One young boy from our Sangha in Ontario, when they first came, his parents came to me and said, we're worried about him and, he's got his friends, he wants to cut his hair, this and that. I said, well, can you help him? I know if I can help him. Have him come, I'll talk with him, of course. So he came and we talked and he got involved with our Sangha. And from that point, he became totally Guru. He even took on. He said, I don't need to take on because I've been. And he even did that within 2 years, something like that. And he is so good. Then he was in high school and he started to wear his bonnet in high school. Like going to school every day. He said, I'm going to wear my bonnet every day. everybody stands when he comes, and they stand, they make a pathway for him. They say he's like a king walking in the hallways. This is the students of the school, the public school. They treat him with such respect, like he's a king. He's walking in beautiful bonnet. He's the king. They treat him. There's not one person said one thing. Oh, look at this guy dressed. He said, I can't believe it. He said, they honor me. And not so long ago, he wanted to cut his hair. But he got inspired to see that there is a way for him to live this life and not to be afraid. And he meditates and does yoga, does this and that. And it's his life, and he'll never give it up. But he wasn't afraid. He saw that there was a light. And he had the choice. He could go for the darkness. You know, what is the truth of life? The truth of life, from my understanding, is a choice between dark and light. We can live in darkness, or we can live in light. That's all this test of life is from day one to the day we finish. And what does Guru say? Be you in the beginning, be you in the middle, and be you in the end. That's all. But it's a fight between our darkness and our light. That's what we fight in this life. That's why Guru is so powerful, because Guru transforms that darkness into light. If we're willing to receive it, accept it, and feel it, and embrace it in every fiber and cell of our being. Next question. We're having finished at 20 o'clock. So is that it? Are we cool? Anything else? Does it make any sense what I'm saying? Does it resonate? Does it feel okay? I mean, am I talking the right way? Am I offside? Does it make sense? I hope so. My prayer is that it does. We can't solve all the problems, but we can do a lot. Cool? Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you so much. So tomorrow I'm here at 11 a.m. We're doing the talk on the future of Khalsa. And if you have time, I'm doing on Saturday a workshop on Nam Simran.